And welcome to this April 16th, 2026 session of High Vibe Channeling. And today we have the extreme pleasure of author Arla Collett Williams, who is well known for sharing the love and the kinship of the Sasquatch Nation with hundreds of us humans. And she is also a versatile and gifted channeler, speaker, and basket maker as well. Her three books, My Life with the Hairy People, Respecting the Water, and New Friends at Indigo Run, can be found on the internet. And the Star People, who call her Shining Star, and asked her about a year ago, as a matter of fact, to begin speaking and channeling more, to utilize her gift of sharing love and wisdom of her star family connections. You can find her on YouTube at Arla Williams 8266, Facebook at Connections with the Star People, and you can also connect with her to sign up for her new class, which will start on the 28th of April, Living from the Heart Workshop, or the Talking About Sasquatch, or her basket weaving classes as well. And we are always very fortunate to have her and the Ancestor Grandmothers et al. And Kashima or Sirisi, whoever happens to show up in our midst. And thank you very much, and welcome back, Arla.
Thank you. Who is that woman you were talking about? She's got way too many irons in the fire. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Ray, for uh, your ability to present someone. It's just always keeps me in amazement. So, thank you for that. Um, And yes, the grandmothers are going to talk tonight. They didn't talk with me much about what they were going to bring. I know what um kind of what it's going to be about. And it's about good and evil. And that's a topic that, in my understanding, a lot of people are so entrenched in good and evil, and they're going to talk about that in some way. Washtini Maya Telo, Washtini Maya Telo, Enaika Dayamo She, Ishkara Mataya, Hello, Ishkara Mataya, Hello, 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 Yama. We are so happy to be with you today and to bring you these thoughts on this human expression that you are experiencing. The evolution of the human experience, the expression of being a human and living in a world of good and evil. In this time now, the energies are such that many are understanding that evil is not what we have perceived it to be. In the growth of being a human in this 3D world, your values were judged as good or evil. And those things were used as a way to keep people in check, to control, to keep you in a space of fear that the decisions you make would doom you in some way or another. This was a learning of the human expression. It was a teaching along the way that has taken such a long time for the human experience to begin to understand that good and evil do not exist in the minds of those who know that there is more to this expression than good and evil. But these were as if tests as the human experience evolved from being in fear of something that they were told if they did not do those things, there would be retribution on a level that far surpasses the understanding. As the Earth Mother and the human expression evolved in consciousness, they began to look at these in a different way, beginning to understand that these are decisions that are made. These are understandings of what was approached as each soul came into this human expression. And through the many understandings of each expression, and the soul began to see more, the higher self of your being began to understand that there are things that are perceived as something that you have no control over. And understanding that you are growing in consciousness and beginning to understand that even though these things seem to be not something that you would resonate with, there is something there to learn and to understand. Many things that you see that feel as an evil thing, the outcome, though sometimes hard, as a third dimensional human, they bring about things that are needed, compassion. And when that compassion fills your heart, love is there, and those energies are sent into the world because of this thing that happened. And as your consciousness continues to rise, you will understand more of how these things existed. It was if a hologram was the life that was chosen to show these two opposite things in the human mind. And that hologram of good and evil became the reality. And as you grow in consciousness, you will see and understand the reasons why things are happening in the manner that they happen. And as you grow in consciousness and love becomes your guiding understanding, you will be sharing that energy with the universe, and more and more and more will be understanding through the heart. And those are the energies that will be the evolution to the space where you are going. The evolution of consciousness, of the Earth Mother, and of all that is here will live in that heart where evil does not exist. The human expression gives life to these things by their thinking and by things that they do, these things that come from the mind outside this love existence. Grow in that love. Look for that love and live in that love. And the understanding of so much will come to you about this world and the evolution of the human expression. O Shemiya Kahainiala Fosho, Imalahena, Imalahena, Imalahena. And we are ready for questions if you have them.
Yes, and thank you very much for that message. Everything seems to go back to leading with the heart. And I was curious, I had a thought the other day about, I know that humans, we choose our bodily forms before we incarnate. And I know it's different in all realms and with other races, but do other races get to pick consciously their forms, or is that their higher self? Or do they have any input at all? Because we just take what we get and run with it.
It is a choice, but as the higher consciousness and the higher dimensional understandings come, there is no need for a physical representation of each of those. And yet, depending on what they are doing, they choose how they would appear. As the grandfather Kashima has said, this is how you see us in this 3D existence. But we do not have to appear as we do. As energy beings, We have that choice each time. And when the choice is made by the human, they choose by different understandings. They appear as their biological human family. Many things look like each other in that way. And these soul groups that are families look alike in many ways. But we are the ones that choose this physical form that is seen as all beings can, as in the Arcturians who have no need for a physical body. And yet there are times when they are shown as a physical being. Our higher selves has no need for a physical body. And yet, in this expression, we choose that.
Thank you. I appreciate that perspective. Anita.
Yes. Thank you so much, Ancestor Grandmothers. We really appreciate you coming to talk with us. My question is, when we perceive what we judge as evil out in the world, um, it, I'm always feeling like I should act to help. Um, is I'm always at a quandary because I've been told, we shouldn't judge. But I feel such a deep need to try to help. Could you address that situation, please?
What you are feeling is something that situation brings to you.
Mhm.
That is a good thing. You may not have had the chance to feel that want to help, to be of service in some way. And so, what you perceived as evil brought to you that compassion and that want to help others. Those are energies, those are light energies that when you feel that and act on that, it becomes the energy that goes out into the world.
Mhm.
And yes, there are times as this human that you should speak up. It is part of the learning of this expression to speak up about things. We would not tell you to not speak. We would ask that you speak in a good way
Mhm.
and be in your heart when you speak about this.
Mhm.
All in this situation deserve to have love
Mhm.
sent to them and to be cared about. The
Mhm.
one who creates the victims needs that love as well. This is the hard thing for this expression of the human to do. And it
Yay!
is,
Yay!
oh my goodness. I have no clue other than my laptop updated last night in the night. I have no clue. None.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
But
I th I think you answered that question, but hey, we can always dream up some more if you're ready to go under again.
okay, here we go. We are ready.
And thank you. And we appreciate that little pause so we could have a little get together, regardless of what happened. I'm curious about, I know after open contact, humans are going to have telepathy with a lot of animals, what we consider animals on our planet. Are they going to be able to communicate with each other as well? Or is that something primarily for humans?
Everything communicates with each other in different ways. Humans look at communication as in speaking to each other. The animals already know what the other is speaking. As in Owl Caller, who is the father of the Sasquatch kids, the hairy kids who are here. He does not just make the owl call, he speaks the owl language. Many animals already use physical movements to communicate. It will have a different energy from what the 3D human expression feels. But we are all communicating now with each other without realizing that we are.
Excellent. And we'll look forward to that difference. I know I'm looking forward to better communication at all times. And Anita, please.
Yes. Thank you again, Ancestor Grandmothers. Um, it, in relation to the topic earlier, um, about good and evil and how we perceive it, um, what role does contrast or what we perceive as evil? What role does that play? Um, is there a benefit to us? Was that uh, something that is more than just a learning experience? Could you expound on that, please?
These things that are a part of this 3D human expression are things that were created to teach in many ways. And we had spoken of the things that what is perceived as evil and what feelings and energies it brings when these things happen. When horrendous things that are perceived as horrendous, many people feel compassion. Many people want to help.
Mhm.
And as this, there is that energy that goes out into the universe within the human who is feeling these energies, these feelings of compassion and sending love to others. They grow so much in that time, and their heart is awakened even more. Compassion is that energy that opens the heart. Feeling compassion can open a heart that has become hard in some ways. Feeling for someone else who has had something happen.
Mhm.
So that is, if you want to say, a positive thing that comes from it.
Mhm.
And also, as each soul comes in this human form, that soul, that higher self, there is a communication of what they wish to learn while they are walking in this human expression.
Mhm.
Things can be learned in many different experiences. And so, what those experiences become is from the choices that are made in this life of a 3D human.
Mhm. Thank you. That is very helpful. Thank you very much.
Greetings to you, Ancestor Grandmothers. Thank you for being with us. On the subject of good and evil, taking it on a bigger scale and thinking of the ones that created these religious and financial systems that enslaved the whole planet pretty much. Is it the same principle that would apply, that we can be even grateful for this challenge that they created for us to overcome?
It might be a little hard for a human to feel grateful for something that they see as a very hard thing to live with.
Mm.
But you will understand more what it is that you gain by seeing these things. And that is another hard lesson, is to look at something that is perceived as evil and to know that there is a lesson in this for us to see. If it is nothing more than to be in your heart and sharing that loving energy and placing that loving energy and that light on this situation. Humans forget how much power that they have through love to help. And if you fall into the place of feeling that your life is affected in such a bad way, then those are the energies that you are putting into the world. You do not have to accept these things that are happening. And if you choose to speak about these things, speak through your heart in a good way. When we speak hate against hate, we have created more hate. You cannot create a loving world from hate.
Indeed. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm curious about the expression of energy, which we know as light language. Will that become more common as we get closer and then after open contact, as more people get in touch with their vibration of the higher realms?
The light language is opening pathways of energy. It is a language of light, which light comes from love. And the joy of speaking it connects you to that knowing inside you of who you are in this love. And those things are spoken now as guiding and opening those energy pathways to assist this growing in consciousness that is happening. Those languages of light will still be spoken, but they will be spoken in a way that illuminates. The pathways have been opened. And if you were to say, I cannot get through this way, there are too many things that are standing in my way, to be able to get from where you are to that space of love. Light language opens that pathway and clears that pathway. So it will rise in consciousness as well.
Wonderful. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you. And before I had what I now consider to be light language that came through, but I always interpreted it as an ancient language of individuals or beings who were sharing my experience with me, not necessarily other lives that I have led, but expressions that they wanted me to speak for their own purposes, like to inject energy or anchor energy into this physical environment. Can you comment on that, please?
And when you spoke those, you opened pathways. Because they were opening pathways. And at some point, you had said, I will be one who helps to open pathways.
Neat.
And you don't have to speak it to get that benefit. All you have to have is that experience of it. And it is more connecting for each individual if they speak that. And we all speak it in one form or another.
Mhm.
We either speak it, we sing it, we sign it, we draw it. You know, all of those are communications that open up pathways. And working in that, the neuro part of the physical body, your DNA changes as well.
Wow. Just
And
from listening to light language?
even immersing yourself in someone speaking, you
Okay.
gain that energy as well. As I said, everyone can speak, can verbalize this. all you have to do is let yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times when it first happened, people go, oh, that sounded weird, and why did I say that? And
Right.
it becomes a second language, like a second language that you would use. And I get tickled at Wendy watching her when she's doing it, because she's into our language, and then she's into light language, and then she's back and she's doing this. And so those energies, are in sync with each other. And that's what's cool. I find myself talking to Matthew sometimes. And I know he does the same thing to me, but I'll go through the room and I'm saying something and he'll say, what did you say? uh,
It's all good.
yeah, it is.
It's all love. So wonderful. And thanks for adding that too.
Being stalked and followed. I was at a conference and I was in a room by myself, and a guy walked in and he tried to scare me. He wouldn't say things to me. He would just lean towards me and look really mean, like he was going to hurt me. And then he would cross his arms and walk away. And, when the conference opened, I was asked if I would play my drum and sing the song that was given to me. It's about peace and love on the Earth Mother. And it was a couple that was doing a documentary for a college course. And they asked me if I would come and speak to them for their project. And I said, sure, I would love to. And they asked me, would you please play your drum and sing that song? And I said, sure. So when it was time for me to go down there, I walked out the door. There was a big festival going on outside at the same time. And this group of people who were there, following us. We couldn't go get something to eat or anything. They would be following us around. And they had big ATVs. And there was a spot where they were doing the documentary. So I walked out and I started walking down towards that. And these people on these ATVs followed me. And when I got down there to this area where I was going to be recorded talking and singing, they all came down there and circled around me like some wagon deal or, whatever. And so the young couple, they said, go ahead and play your drum and sing your song. And one of the women that was with the group that was harassing me got right behind the person with the camera, and she was making grimacing faces at me and kind of doing haughty ha 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 laughing. And so when I began to sing, and I can't sing this song anyway if I've got anything within me, I clear everything out and feel with love. I just decided to sing that song to her and send her that love, everything that was coming from that song, the love was going right to her. As I did that, she dropped her head and turned around and walked off. Now, she had no clue. There were no words that she would understand. And yet she felt that energy of love. And this is that thing that we all have and we all can do. And as we do that, we grow so much. And it was like, as I was singing that to her, the compassion and the caring for her just filled me up as well. So never doubt what you can bring through that love.
Excellent. Thank you very much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
How beautiful, Arla. Thank you.
Transformation only
It is
happens
just
through
so
love.
beautiful.
Thank you.